Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whichever location you're watching from. Welcome back to Momentum, the podcast where we meet technology leaders who are not just driving innovation, but leading with empathy, curiosity, and heart. This is a platform where we bring you the stories behind technology leaders who balance professional excellence with personal grit. We go beyond resumes and titles, diving into their grounding beginnings, their extraordinary journeys, and their bold visions for the future. Every episode is an opportunity to learn from our leaders who are not only driving innovation, but also redefining what it means to lead with clarity, resilience, and impact. Today, I'm honored to host Srini, a technology visionary with over 2 decades of experience architecting enterprise scale solutions across e commerce, healthcare, insurance, and beyond. But what truly defines Srini Chintakindi isn't just his technical brilliance, it's his belief that leadership is a dialogue between the mind and the heart. Srini, welcome to Momentum.
Wow, what a beautiful introduction I have. Thank you so much for that. And I'm honored to be your guest today.
Thank you. So let's start from beginning, Srini. You have led large teams, managed critical projects, but every leader has a defining moment, a story that shaped who they are. What was the moment for you?
I'm not sure what, there are many moments. So, what I can really always remember is wherever I worked, all the managers, they told that, Srini, whenever you want to come back, you just knock the door. The doors are always open. Throughout my whole career, all all the managers told the same thing when I leave, and I feel so good about it because I created some impact in the organization and the teams, and that's what I want to carry throughout my life. So even though I was working as an individual contributor, I used to um, do more than what I'm supposed to do. Like, I used to go out of my team, help other team members, or even I want to take initiatives. Usually, that is not my job, but usually used to do take the initiatives. I always used to think how to improve the current systems or process, something like that. So there are many such moments in my life where people recognized my potential, my caliber, and gave the right opportunities. That's where I am right now.
Absolutely, and that's a defining moment. And that makes me curious to ask my next question. When did you first realize that technology wasn't just a job, but a language through which you could make an impact?
Yeah. So when I was studying my engineering, I never thought I will come to IT industry. My thought process was completely different at the time. I always dreamt about getting a secure government job in India and settle in in a job. But during my last year of engineering, I purchased a personal computer for my project work, and then I really liked. At the time, apart from the project work, I learned Java, and then I started programming, and I really liked it. That's where I really got interested in the IT, and then I switched my career to IT. So in my job, I noticed that you can do the job in multiple ways. See, there is a requirement you can do it, but there is always a way how you can do the job. I mean, how efficient you can do, how better you can do, and there is a lot of difference. Getting things done is different. Getting the things in the right way is different. So that's where I understand the technology. Everyone has access to same technology, but all the people will not use the technology the same way based on their thought process, their ideology, their understanding, vision. People use technology differently. So at that moment, I realized there is so much power in the technology, and you can actually make wonders with the technology. And there are many moments in my career where I really liked the way what I'm doing, and also I created a lot of applications, and even I got so much, you know, appreciation from customers, my company, my team. There are many such things.
Absolutely. No wonder they all love you so much for not just the work that you're doing, but the passion and the way you are trying to do it. You
right.
often talk about leadership from your heart, Srini. What does it mean to you in practice, especially when balancing deadlines, deliverables, and human connections? Because passion is different and then deliverables are different. How do you balance them?
I really never faced any big challenges in my work because I always enjoy what I do. When you're enjoying really what you're doing, you don't feel pressure. Even if it is 14, 15 hours per day, I always want to do more because I don't believe the work life balance concept. Because if you see work and life are two different things, you have a conflict. Okay, I need to balance work and life, but I always blend my work in my life. So, of course, I don't work 24 hours a day, but whenever I have time, I work on it and I enjoy what I do. So leadership for me is basically impact. How you're creating impact in the team or in the community, wherever you are. So it is not just creating followers, you have to create leaders. You have to make others empower with your knowledge, with your vision, whatever it is. So the leadership is not a role or title, but it is basically a impact, what impact you're creating in the area where you are.
Totally, totally. Can't disagree with any of the word that you have uttered out of your mouth right now because your style of leadership is reflecting as if the leadership is not just about knowing it all, it's about feeling it all and guiding others through that feeling. It's a passion, calm, and composed way of
Right,
leading, such that even when an issue occurs, it's not an issue, it's an after effect that you are trying to fix.
right.
That's very well said. I'm now totally clear on how to, break down the complex items and then lead it. Thank you so much. So let's try to think about how do you build trust with the global teams, especially when they are diverse in both culture and skill set.
If you are really authentic, if you are genuine, people will love you, people will trust you. You can not fake it for long. You can fake it for some time, but you cannot really fake it forever. So I always deal with my team with empathy and genuinity. I really care for my team. I really care for others. So it is not just a one day thing. It should be your um, attitude, your behavior. It should blend in your nature or in your character. So when you really genuinely care for others and empower them, people will trust you. People love to work with you, whether
Totally.
they are in your team or globe across the globe, doesn't matter.
Yeah, being authentic and being empathetic are two uh, ways that you can balance your leadership and the deliverables. Well said. So, integration, scalability, and performance, you have architected all of them. How do you balance innovation with stability in large enterprise systems? Because in the current world, it's so chaotic that you just can't find one stop shop for everything.
So what I learned from my experience is you cannot really do everything in one shot. It's a process. So always start small and then build what is necessary and then think about security, performance, scalability, all these things as as after the fact. So I worked in enterprise systems where we started always small and just deliver what is required for the business. But when it goes to production and when it is in the use, we understand what are the problems it has because during development and initial time phases, you cannot really understand what could go wrong. Of course, you can know certain things, but not everything. So it's a continuous journey. You always have to have that kind of vision, how to monitor, how to improve the systems, and learn from your mistakes, watch others, and learn from internet or books, and implement the best practices. It's a journey, and you cannot do all alone. You definitely need to have a team where they bring their own expertise, and collectively you can build enterprise systems.
Yeah, I think we should be kind to ourselves when, especially in the case or areas of pressure. So, Instead of going into the panic mode or pressing the panic button, we can just take a step back and have a visualization from a different perspective. So, in that case, Rini, what's your approach? Meaning, we have a lot of political drama outside within the teams and in the enterprise organization. We have to
Of
deal with so
course.
many things, and you are holding a director position in your organization, which is not an easygoing job. You have to
Right.
lead by example and also handle this political stress.
Right.
So, what's your approach when these technology decisions turn political? How do you bring alignment and clarity across executive and technical stakeholders? I think the listeners would be very keen on knowing because you being a director, how do you handle is such a great learning for all of us.
Yes, most of the times you will definitely see some politics or some drama in the organizations. But as I said, you always be authentic and be true to yourself and always behave what you truly are. Even though sometimes in the short term, some people who's playing this political dramas or some tactics, they can get some benefits out of it. But in the long run, definitely, you will people realize who you are, and you will get your due credit. So I don't go by short term victories or short term gains. I always think long term. I just be myself. I always play what my heart says. So um, for me, it's always best interest of the company. It's not my interest, but I always think about what is the best interest, what is the best thing for the team, for the company, for the project. So I don't go by my personal interest or anything. And luckily, so far, touchwood, I worked in all the companies. I never had big problems, but sometimes we had a little bit here and there. But because with my nature, with my genuinity and authenticity, I believe things are really turning out well in my way.
For sure. Technology is always easy to automate. People are not.
People are not.
That's where real leadership begins. And we are fortunate to
Yeah.
have this conversation right now with you. And it's not new that we all have been learning about the AI, which has kind of left the platform long time ago. It's not something we are hearing right now, isn't it? It's there from past 2 decades. So, in your view, how can AI help architects like yourself make more human-centric decisions, not just faster ones?
Yes, really good question. I think the technology is a very powerful tool, but it's also a double-edged sword. So you have to really use it responsibly. So especially with the AI, the effects are very dangerous, very severe if it is in the wrong people hand. There is so much going on out there. Like there are deep fake videos and a lot of AI generated content, which you cannot really believe what is true, what is fake. Um, so I think right now, I don't think we have enough regulations in the country or wherever you are. I think we should have some regulations on the responsible usage of AI and also um, how to really use it for betterment of humanity, not for other things. So unless you really put the guardrails in place, i- we have to all act before it is too late. And yeah, I think everyone should have that question in their mind whenever they are building something. They should think, okay, how can I make use of this technology for the improvement of people life and or maybe systems. If everyone has that vision or thought process, we can make everyone's life easy. We can make this planet a better place to live. And also at the same time, government or organization should impose that regulation, should have some controls, guardrails for controlling the bad actors.
Yeah, totally. I think you have used the right phrase. I would say it's a double-edged sword because just the way every coin has two sides, we have the both. The technology comes with its own baggage, and it's up to us on how we can have the guardrails on so that way we can use it for good versus bad, because we can control only the controllable that is doable for the end users who actually are the end users of this technology. So if you could reimagine architecture for the next decade, Srini, what would you change about how organizations approach design, governance, or innovation?
The technology is changing very fast. Now, the way we worked 5 years ago is different from what we are doing right now. Definitely, it will be completely different in next decade or next 5 years. So, always adapt to the change. Always try to learn new things in whatever is coming in your way, and always take the best things from technology or from the practices what you are doing, and then adapt to it and do it accordingly. So, I'm sure in next 5 years some of the roles will be eliminated and some brand new roles will come in the market, with especially with the AI innovation the way it is going. A lot of things will be automated, and the more human uh, human qualities like in empathy or maybe the reasoning, something will prevail more, where the real human values make bigger impact in the technology space. And I believe the architecture and everything will be centered around human at the time, because right now everything, if you see LinkedIn or any social media platform, there's so much content, everything is so much automate AI generated content. I believe in 5 years people will starve for, or they wait for the real human content. They wait for the real human connection, real human interactions. So I believe the technology also will work in that way in next decade.
It's sounding like we make the things to break and we break the things to make. So I think it closely resonates with something what I heard in the past, like AI might predict patterns, but empathy interprets them. That's where human architects will always make the difference. And you have very well articulated, I should say. I'm very impressed with that double-sided sword, double-edged sword. So every human, every leader, there's a human behind a leader. So outside of work, what recharges Srini? What practices or habits help you stay grounded as a leader?
I love to talk to people. I love to interact with the different people, understand their life, and basically I like to talk to people. So whenever I have time, whenever I'm not working, I always try to find a reason to talk to somebody. I just call someone, and on my way to work or coming back, or maybe whenever I am free, even 10 minutes, I just call someone and talk to them. I regularly check on different people, how they are doing, what I can do, if they need anything. And also, um, I spend my time with my family, especially with my daughter. That's where I recharge myself. And also, I'm a music lover. I listen to old melodies, and where I recharge. And whenever I have time, I read some books. So there are multiple things the way I recharge, but predominantly almost 10 to 12 hours, I always think about my work. So my mind is always in that mood most of the time. But I also do these recharging activities or some things which I can use for my relaxation.
True, very true. I think I also got to hear from you about your first poem that got published in actually a newspaper. That would be really thrilling for you in that very early stages of your life as a young mind who actually evolved. I mean, this hasn't started, I believe, the way how you have articulated your journey so far across the technology, AI, and your vision and innovation. This is there from very early stages of your childhood, and it has
Right.
evolved over the time to be who you are right now.
Right. I'm a big lover of literature and music from beginning. So I used to read a lot of books when I was a kid. I used to go to library every day. I read almost hundreds of books in my high school time. But now I'm not getting enough time to read the books. But I enjoy the literature whenever I hear some nice song or book with good with good lyrics or with good content. I enjoy reading them.
Absolutely. Would like to do another podcast to know a little bit more about your historical knowledge and the literature. So, our viewers and the listeners would be able to benefit from what they can go and how they can
Right.
choose what they would like to go with. So, this again brings me back to another question, Srini. What's a leadership lesson you learned from your failure? Because failure is such an important part of everybody's life that gives you a lot of resilience to bounce back. We just want to know one of your lesson learned from your failure that has shaped your approach here forever.
Yes. So every experience or everything is not a failure if you learn something from out of it. Even though it looks like a failure from outside, but if you really get some insights, some lessons from it, it's always a success for you. So, of course, because I'm into this leadership role only from last few years, but I made some mistakes. I learn always, even still today, I learn everything. I learn in from every interaction with my leadership team, with my team. So what I learned is usually whenever you approach for some situation, for some meeting, you always think from your point of view and you go and present. But I recently learned that you always approach a meeting from other person's point of view. Then you make really big impact in that meeting. So recently, because I had a call with my manager recently, and I was only preparing for the meeting from my own point of view, but I never thought about what actually they are expecting from that meeting. So if you really think from that point of view, you can really get ready or be ready for that moment or for that meeting, and then you can make most out of it. So I don't think it's a failure unless you're not learning anything, but every interaction is an opportunity to learn.
Absolutely. You're such a kind, generous, humble, always have your roots grounded in earth. With this kind of perspective, if your team describe your leadership in one word, what do you think they would say?
You should ask my team for that, but what I can say is they always say that I am very approachable. uh, no one in my team have any fear or any hesitation to reach out to me at any point of time. I always say that I'm just a one phone call or one message away for anything you need, whether it is personal or professional, anything. I can do whatever I can do in my capacity. So I'm very approachable. I always give the comfort for my team to feel home in the team, and I give that freedom for them to express their thoughts or anything whatever they like, so that I really trust the people. So I give that opportunity so they can actually go all in and they give their 100%. I don't want to make people work based on instructions, but I want the people to work truly motivated themselves and do things by themselves without someone telling or someone monitoring. So my team always say that I am very approachable and give the give enough opportunities for them to shine.
I think two takeaways for sure are one is trust and the other one is approachability. In this fast going pace of where either the Gen Z word, Gen Alpha, Beta, Gamma, whoever they are in the cat race or rat race of just trying to win without having a direction on where they are going to. So that includes our next generation. So, what is one advice which you would like to pass it on that includes your next generation too, or our next generation?
Yeah, I always say that to my daughter that don't look for shortcuts. Always have a long-term vision. So when you really think long term and think big, your approach or your mindset will be completely different. You should have patience and do your work wholeheartedly with 100% commitment. And even though you don't get immediate results, but definitely you will see the benefits of it long term, and you will have much more solid success compared to other short term gains.
Yeah.
So don't look for shortcuts. Always give your best and do it consistently. You will get the results.
With so much of information that I have absorbed, I just would like to complete this sentence. At the end of the day, leadership is all about.
It's all about impact. So how much impact you are creating in your community or in your teams. So leadership is all about impact.
Absolutely. So with that, I think everything is coming down to place where our listeners, including me, has got a lot of information on how to lead by example and not to hesitate, even though it is taking a little bit of time to show the impact. But when you are authentic to yourself, approachable, and build that trust, it would happen. So I have a small rapid fire that I have set up for you. Let's
Sure.
see. Hopefully. So you're a morning person or a night owl?
Definitely a morning person. I'm early
Code
bird.
review. Okay. Code review or brainstorming session?
Brainstorming.
One gadget you can't live without.
My phone.
What's your favorite productivity hack?
Plan the day and then do just to stick to it.
If not a tech leader, what career would you have been choosing?
Probably I would have become a teacher because I always love to share my knowledge and share my experience and empower others.
Awesome. If AI could automate one annoying daily task for you, what would you pick?
Okay, I don't like anything to do in the kitchen. I live with anything whatever is there for it. But if AI can automate my cooking process or help in the kitchen, that's enough for me.
That's so
It's very annoying.
awesome. That's so awesome, Srini. And thank you so much for participating, being authentic to yourself and then, helping our listeners also know a little bit more about you. Any last words, Srini, that you would like to conclude with?
Yeah. So uh, what I learned in my life is, sometimes I wasted so much time in early in my career waiting for the perfect moment. So I always wanted to do certain things, but I was waiting for the perfect moment. Okay, I can only do when I have this much, this certain thing with a role or title or status, whatever it is. But don't wait for that right moment. Always ready. Do the things when you're not ready. So do it imperfectly, but you can start the action takes is more important than the planning or whatever it is. Of course you need to have planning, but action is very important, taking action. So that will create the momentum, and then it will really you can achieve more. Even though if you have a solid plan and everything in place, blueprints, planning, everything, but if you're not doing anything, it's useless. But at the same time, even if you don't know exactly what to do, but if you're taking action, that will get the clarity, and then you can actually do more than the other person. So just take action.
Very well composed, Srini. I think start imperfectly to seek the momentum.
Right.
So, Srini, this has been a heart to heart that truly captures what momentum stands for, the balance between technology, purpose, and humanity. Your journey reminds us that great systems are built on empathy as much as engineering. Thank you for joining us. And to all our listeners, remember technology moves fast, but real leadership moves with intention. Stay curious, stay kind, and keep building your momentum. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, Srini.
Thank you, Sri.